video in regards to our recent clearing of U7.1. So first and foremost, congratulations everyone. Phenomenal job in pushing through. Um, we got our raid completion for 7.1 just a little bit over a week. Took us a week, 1 day to get where we are currently. So congratulations on that. Just kind of going through, clicking through, and accepting my normal kind of rewards. And then we have these lovely bonus first time clears for 7.1. So 180 T4s, 6,000 of these orange elite orbs, and then 6,000 gold orb fragments. So essentially 3 gold orb pulls. I'm not going to kind of open that stuff on screen. I'd rather actually more just kind of get right into 7.2 and just kind of see what it's like. I'm going to go in directly, and I am going to start out actually just kind of playing manually. I just want to kind of get a feel for how these raids are. I guess kind of what my overall experience is going to be. This is very new territory. For all 3 of my accounts, actually. The reason I had left my previous alliance was we were making 0 progress. Essentially, we had been in Ultimus 7 for just about, I don't want to say a year, but it was pretty close to a year. Hadn't made too much progress, and was just really looking to, do a little bit more. And I joined up with you guys, and in the last 5 months, little over 5 months now, we have made insane progress. We started at Ultimus 5, and we are now in Ultimus 7.2. So congratulations on that. It's great playing with people that are kind of in a similar mindset and focused on progression and just kind of, advancing as a group. So good job on that. Let's kind of keep up the progress, kind of keep going. So normally I auto this node, so I don't really have a too strict attack order. I do typically manually play the last several nodes just because the AI doesn't handle them kind of the way I would play. So I take over and I do those fights for that. But I just wanted to kind of get a little bit of a feel for what 7.2 was going to be like. And yeah, so just kind of going through. Kind of normal strategy with the symbiotes. I'm essentially targeting enemies that normally have kind of big debuff mechanics that the symbiotes don't really care for so much. And what I mean by that is anyone that is heal blocking or causing blind are normally my priorities as far as who I'm attacking. So in this particular node, I'm really looking at Magneto. Mordo is kind of another prime target for me. And something else I'm kind of realizing, it kind of started with 7.1, but what I'm doing is once I get to the point where I've only got maybe 5 to 6 enemies. I basically just go in and I just start doing basics. And the idea behind this is when I go into my next fight, I want all of my abilities basically ready to go. This kind of can help out in the case that if any of your characters get, one shot deleted. Assuming obviously that it is not anti-venom, you can res them up pretty quickly. And then with the combination of putting debuffs on something, with symbiote Spider-Man's passive, your symbiote should be able to heal up pretty quickly. So that's just kind of what I'm doing. So this first node, pretty simple. It didn't seem any harder than kind of a normal node. I should actually be able to get up here to a boss node and kind of see how a boss fight goes. And I think that's kind of more of a better indication. The first kind of like the first quadrant in Ultimus 7 is normally pretty easy. I think kind of regardless of the difficulty. And then kind of as you are going up the lanes, they do get harder. For Mini, I guess where I'm really kind of running into the problem is when I actually start getting up to the third boss quadrant. And Mini has a really hard time with that in the sense where I can't auto those fights. And like I said, I do have to manually fight them. So, I mean, it's not the biggest. It's not the end of the world. I can still manage those fights. It's just more kind of an inconvenience than anything. Um, so this node, I took out the Scarlet Witch pretty quickly just because I don't want her extending any debuffs that I might get on the field. Um, Now that Doctor Strange has dropped, I will get rid of Doctor Strange. I don't want him flipping any of my positive effects to negative effects. Um, I know there's supposed to be an increased amount of resist for 7.2, but so far I don't seem to be landing into any issues. Debuffs are still landing with the symbiotes, so I'm not having any problems there. Um, so far I would say this seems, fairly normal. Like I said, it'll be the tell-all when I do get up to a boss node. Um, Mayor has essentially gone and finished my first boss node for me, so I don't have to worry about there, but I should be able to get up to the second boss node, and I'm hoping to do it in the course of this video. I'm going to keep streaming just for the sake of streaming, and just kind of play around a little bit more with doing the actual recording of me going along with the game, just kind of playing around with that a little bit and kind of seeing where that goes. But yeah, so far I think I'm in a pretty good spot. We're down to 6 enemies again, and I think I am going to start doing basics now at this point. And again, so all of my basically my specials and my ultimates will be ready for the next fight. But yeah, so far going into this, I'm not noticing a super big difference. So I'm curious how y'all are experiencing this, if you're noticing a difference, especially depending on what teams you're using. If you're using a non-symbiote team, really curious if you're noticing like a big difference, I guess, in how strong the enemy is. But yeah, I would say so far, no problems on these first 2 nodes for Mini. I'm imagining with Call, I should probably be able to just auto these nodes like I normally would. And I'm thinking with Dracaris, probably the same thing. Again, the only place where it gets kind of a little wishy-washy is when I start getting up to the higher boss nodes. Dracaris has had some bad RNG where, Anti-Venom will get deleted, and then that it does really kind of mess with the team a little bit. The one good thing about with Dracaris is I do have the bigger roster, so I normally will sub out whoever gets deleted. I'll sub out with either Dr. Octopus is a really great character to sub in, Minerva, Emma Frost, or also other options. But yeah, so this node, let's see. Problems in this node, definitely the Karath, the Kree Reaper is another one that I am not a big fan of. And then I will have to watch out for Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier does hit really hard, especially in Ultimus. So I actually really should have ability blocked him there, but I was not paying attention. My Carnage is looking kind of thin on the health. I should be able to get him back up though, so not too worried about that. That was just kind of careless playing on my part. Get some buffs going for everyone, and that should get the team back up to kind of normal health. I'm gonna save Venom's ultimate just until I have some more enemies on the field or some more debuffs going. I'm gonna go in now. Let's see, keep targeting Karath. I'm gonna get a speed up real quick for the team. Gonna extend all of these debuffs. And I think now we're at a much better spot than we just were. Boom. So what I'll do also with these things is I'll typically take things to the yellow, or to the red rather, and then I will move over to a different target. The basic idea behind that is with the symbiotes, if by chance the enemy gets to go again, by the time they go again, they're probably going to die from either their bleeds or all their debuffs. So we'll put up immunity for everyone just for this next wave, and luckily, damn, that Drax and his taunt. Hopefully, I should be able to get Venom to go again before this Drax over here dies. And what I'll do is I will spread all these debuffs over here, and that should really help the team out. So kind of go in and just kind of focus firing on this one Drax, just because he does have a lot of health. Boom, kind of keep that going. I will extend all of these debuffs over here and go back to Drax over here. And then, like I said, I'm going to pop this ultimate real fast. That debuffs everyone. I'm going to spread some positive buffs. And then from here on out, I will do... actually, they all kind of just deleted themselves with their bleeds. I'm going to go in just for some damage numbers. And I think that's Venom that has all those 5. Kind of hard to see, but I'm going to go in with Carnage's special, just get some high points for myself. And now I'll just kind of go in and do basic attacks for the rest and just kind of clean this up a little bit. So yeah, third node down. So far, no problems. Even with kind of a foolish play with not blocking Karath's, or not Karath, not blocking Winter Soldier's one of his moves. But this fight went pretty good. No casualties still. Team is at full health, and I've got just about all my moves kind of ready to go on the next fight. So we are zipping along in 7.2. Really liking the additional rewards with the extra T3s and actually even the extra raid credits. Because I was down to, I want to say I was down to almost like about 1,000 raid credits. And so they're pumping up pretty quickly, which is really nice. Right now with Mini, the big focus in the raid store is kind of on gear. I've been kind of shying away from character shards, and farming gear in the raid store does get rather expensive, and those raid credits get depleted really fast. So it is certainly nice that kind of getting those resources. All right, this is the shield node. So let's see. We are going to go in. We're going to get rid of the shield trooper first, just so he is not kind of counterattacking everyone. We'll go in and we'll stun him, so we don't have to worry about him anymore. Go over here. I'm going to get Nick Fury down, just because I don't feel like dealing with all his summons and his possibility to assist and spread buffs for his team. So we'll go in. We'll spread those about. Yeah, I think so far this is yet another shaping up to be an easy node. We got him down to the red. I'm going to switch over now over to Captain America. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to extend these debuffs over here, get them all in the red, and now I'm going to start ticking down on Captain America. I'll probably go in on my next turn and actually use Carnage's special on the shield trooper that has all the debuffs. So I actually don't want him to die. And this is kind of, I wouldn't call it a sneaky way, but it's a really nice way to kind of get some bigger numbers for yourself when you are doing those ultimates on, characters that have a lot of dots on them. So I'll pop that in and just kind of get myself some numbers. Now that I've got the second shield trooper, I'm going to kind of get him down also, because I don't want him assisting again. So boom, we'll pop those in. Let's see, we're going to spread Captain America's debuffs over. And yeah, so this is going pretty good from what I can tell so far. Next one will be the boss node, and that will be essentially my final 7.2 fight. So I'll do some just, I guess, generic thoughts on how 7.2 has gone. I guess how I'm feeling on 7.2, and then, I guess just kind of realistic expectations as to, how we're going to do clear-wise. And maybe just kind of come up with like an initial timeline of how long I think it might take us to progress up to 7.3. It's really just going to kind of depend on if this difficulty does start scaling as we start getting higher up in the raid. Like I said, those first kind of two areas are normally the easier ones. And I would say it's really kind of in that third quadrant, rather, that things really kind of start to get a little bit more intense. So we're at the point now again, I've got 6 enemies. They are all kind of actually low on health. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to just start doing basics. This is especially important, I would say, when you're getting ready to go into a boss node. Um, you want as many of your abilities available as possible. Like I said, just in case a character that's not anti-venom gets deleted, you've got kind of the ability to res them back up. So we'll go in, we will basic these enemies to death, and I can't resist getting a little bit more points with Carnage, and his special isn't as important, I would say, for having it ready on turn 1, because you want a lot of debuffs. So again, I'm just going to get some bonus points here, and then just finish off this fight. And then we will go into our first boss node for 7.2. And in the interim, I'm also just kind of hopping on Khaleesi, and I am at full raid energy, so I just want to get some auto attacks going on Khaleesi. So that's obviously not on camera, but that's more kind of an issue with multi-devicing. So got Khaleesi over here. I'm going to just auto for Khaleesi, and let's go in with this first boss node. So just kind of looking at it, pretty much bonus rewards you're getting. So we're getting additional raid season, which is really good for the Alliance. That at the end of the week will actually give us more T4s. You're getting a bonus of 2 extra T3s, 5 extra raid credits, which isn't a whole lot, and then 2,500 extra gold. So I'd say kind of the resources that really are kind of really important in this that we're getting extra are these bonus raid season points as well as the bonus T3s. So let's go ahead, let's pop in this boss fight and see how little Mini does. So far, like I said, I haven't noticed a giant increase in difficulty. The fights are still kind of ending in the same amount of time. I haven't run into any situations where I'm close to timing out, so that's always a good thing. You don't want your fights timing out, because that's just, I mean, it sucks basically. Because then you have to use a bonus, raid energy to probably clear a node you could have cleared by yourself. And anyway, so we're going in. We want to get that taunt off of Drax so we can start working on everyone else. So I popped Scream Special. Everyone is looking a little bit on the rougher side, so I'm going to pop that up and give everyone immunity. I'm going to go in. I don't want Rocket Raccoon hitting for that hard special, so I'm going to ability block him. And let's see. So the boss node, things are definitely hitting harder, just from a quick little glance. So we will see how little Mini does with this. Definitely a little bit more on the shakier side, but we are starting to kind of get our momentum going back. And this is kind of why I was talking about it is really important to have those abilities available kind of on turn 1. So we were able to spread all those debuffs from Drax on over. I want to get in here, and I don't want Rocket Raccoon doing his ultimate because I am imagining that is going to hit super hard on this node. I also don't want Black Panther going and doing his ult, so we are going to delete him real fast. Boom, he should drop. Other ones I need to worry about. Star-Lord is going to be kind of another tricky one. His ult, I would imagine, is going to probably hit for really hard in this node. And the other thing I don't want to have to worry about is dealing with blinds. So he is a prime target for me. This should get him down to red. Perfect. We're going to go in, delete him. And now I think I'm going to go after Gamora just because she can hit kind of hard sometimes, which is funny because she never hits hard when you're playing her. We will extend Drax's debuffs, which got him into the red. Let's see. Let's go after the aim infector, which then chain over to Miles and get him unstealthed. Boom. Let's go ahead and get Miles down. He's got some of those, slows, and I don't feel like getting the team disrupted. So, yeah, I'm thinking, that first initial wave was a little bit on the riskier side, but seems like once they got going, the team managed pretty well. I'll be curious. I might have to test it out tomorrow and just see how Mini does with these nodes being autoed. Um, Playing the game on auto is definitely a different experience. The AI isn't always as smart with playing. And so these fights might not go as well on auto for Mini, but I'll definitely try it out and kind of, I guess, see where I am and just kind of gauge. If I am running into a position where auto isn't possible right now, essentially what that means to me is that my symbiotes are not built up enough, where, they're built enough where I can play them manually, but, again, I think it's one of those I have 3 accounts problems, so probably not an issue a lot of you are facing, but if I had to manually play on all 3 devices, it would get really time consuming. So I don't mind having to manually play on one of the devices, but I'm definitely not looking to have that be the kind of overall experience. So basically, what I would do in that point is there are some T4s I can add to my symbiotes. To kind of bring them up a little bit. And then the other thing I can kind of do is I can also level them up a little bit. So I did just hit level 74, previously was level 73. So that is definitely something I can look at. This is so far the first fight I'm running into where I'm getting close to timing out. So we will see. I think I can get rid of these 2 Spider-Men, and I should be able to get rid of the Aim Infector, but I'm not too sure if I'm going to be able to get rid of the Drax. So let's see. Hopefully I can finish this off. We will see, though. It's looking kind of sketch. Boom. Let's see if we can get Drax down. Got him down to red, and by the skin of my teeth, 8 seconds to spare. We did finish our first 7.2 run. No casualties so far, which is awesome. Symbiotes are all still alive. Got those bonus rewards going in there. And then let's just kind of see, I guess, where I am damage-wise. So, boom, so far for the Alliance, we're at 16%. I think a lot of people are maybe tapped out on energy. Boom, we're going into that. So just kind of looking where we are. Mini managed to pop out 12 mil, which is pretty normal, I would say, for those first 5 nodes. So far, so good. I think things I can kind of do, like I said, as I'm looking at this, I do have my symbiotes still up top, and that's just because they are still a work in progress. So let's see. With those bonus T4s that we got, I will probably look, and on that little infographic, I will look at basically the next damage boosting T4, and I will pop that in. So I think so far this was a successful 7.2 run for myself. Hopefully everyone is having similar luck, and hopefully this video came out okay. It is the first experience with me recording myself as I'm game recording. So hopefully all this went out well and no lag or anything like that. So if you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe. And as always, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me either on Discord or in game. Discord, it's Khaleesi. In game, any of the 3 accounts. Always happy to offer help and assistance in any way, shape, or form. Any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to reach out to the Alliance leadership. Thank y'all so much for watching, and hope you're having a good one.